Hey everyone, I'm Connie from the Painted Photographer, and I have a video for you today, and we're doing Patriotic. It's almost that time. It's almost Memorial Weekend. I don't know where the summer went. Then the 4th of July. I have all kinds of inspiration to share with you. One more thing before I let you go. Did you know I now sell Sweet Pickins milk paint? It's so good. I'm going to show you in this video how I used milk paint on a few items. It's so fun. I can't wait for you to try it. I was scared of it too, but guess what? I've grown to like it. I still love my DIY paint. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. But milk paint has its uses, and so does DIY. See you at the end.
We're going to start out today's video with just a cupboard door. This is a blank cupboard door I got from my girlfriend. She works at a cabinet factory and they were going to throw these in the garbage. So I have the back side of the cabinet door and I'm just painting it in the white swan using a little bit of water to make it flow easier. I'm dividing this board into equal parts. I put tick marks on them and then added the painter's tape. So this is equal parts that it is divided into. Next, DIY came out with a sampler kit. All of these colors in 2-ounce jars, along with this mixing little brochure. There are all these fun colors in this kit. You can order this kit on my website at thepaintedphotographer.com. It's called the Mixology Kit, and it's perfect. I like to use all the paint in the lid first. When you get it shipped, you're going to have paint that sticks to the lid. Try not to get any paint onto the lid because it's going to dry out the fastest. So I paint the top of this board in, this is Carnival Red that's included in the kit. And the kit does have the red, white, and blue. This is Blue Iris, just perfect for your summer crafts. And I painted the bottom half of this cabinet door in the Blue Iris, and then that middle section is going to remain white. I was requested to make a sign for the gift shop, so I am using this stamp set from IOD. This is my go-to stamp set. I use this stamp set so much, and I still have them available on my website if you're interested in getting one for sign making. They are the best. So let us not forget is the top of this sign. And I'm just placing the letters on there. I see that I'm not going to use the capital L. I am going to use a lowercase l. And then I'm just placing the letters where I think they need to be on the top of that section up there. And you have to sometimes use the letters over again. So you just have to figure out the placement and where you need to start and where you need to end. Thin mounts are a lifesaver. They have grid lines so that you can make sure your words line up correctly. And first we're going to just start out with let us. And I am going to put it onto the thin mount using the grid marks on the top and the side of the board to make sure that my letters are straight and I get it in the same placement. And then I straighten my letters out on the thin mount using the grid lines on the bottom to make sure that they are going to be straight across. So we're going to use some white mixing ink. This is permanent ink from IOD, not the erasable chalk. This is white mixing, and it's permanent, and you can also use it to mix other colors. And I line that back up again on the side and the top, and perfect lettering. So to keep using these stamps over and over again and not get the white marks where I don't want them to, I wipe them off with a baby wipe. And then I let them dry. And the next word is not. So we're going to keep that L on there and we're going to use that for placement. And we're going to spell out the word not using the grid lines to make sure that we're straight. And then we're going to take the L off. And then we're going to add in the F for forgot, making sure that our placement for the next word is about the same. Using the top line, our word will be straight. So that's why these thin mounts are a lifesaver. They are also located on my website, and I use them all the time. You can tell this one's very dirty, but it still functions.
Do you ever feel you don't get out what you're putting in? All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring? Oh, there must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. I was just a little girl when my mama used to say, ooh, happiness requires work every day. Oh, and if that someone makes you smile, it leaves you with a scar.
When I get into the middle section here, I want my words to be in the center, and you can tell this on the red section, they're down a little bit. So I'm going to go up one grid mark, and that is going to give me equal space on the top and the bottom. This is the China Blue ink. I need to re-ink my pad, which you can use them over and over. You just re-ink them. So we're going to go up the one grid line so that we have equal space on the top and bottom. And that's another good use for this thin mount, is to make sure that you are making an equal space between your lettering. So let us not forget the sacrifices as on the middle and of our heroes. And yes, I'm sure you're going to notice I spelled sacrifices wrong. I did not notice for a long time. So you get to see how I fixed my mistake after the sign was completely done. Yep, I did not see it until it was completely done. So the words were down on the top and down on the bottom for a reason. We were going to add the little stars, and I messed up on that one, but I fixed that also with a little sanding. So I sanded this board. You want to make sure that you get all of that red pigment off. Red, white, and blue. If you've painted signs before using DIY paint, oh my gosh, do they smear. So I am very, very cautious. I go in with the big top and I do the white first. And then I do the blue. And after I get the blue and the white completed, then I'll go in and I'll do my red. The red pigment will smear into the white. Trust me, it's happened so many times that I do not let that happen again. And it's always with my patriotic red, white, and blue signs that this happens. So I give that a good coat of a liquid patina. Actually, it was Big Top. Sorry, it was Big Top. And then I sand over it a little bit just to give it some tooth so that this crackle stamp will have something to adhere to. We're going to do a white ink on the bottom, and then we're also going to do blue in the middle where we do have white. So we're going to have crackle there, just giving this sign a bit of an age look to it. And then we're going to go back in with another coat of Big Top. And I am still always a little bit cautious. And I kind of do my red first, and then I do the white, and then I do the blue. I don't drag it from one color to the next. And so I get that completely covered. And then I go and I have dark wax. I sanded the edge again. I didn't show that part, but I did sand that edge again so that wood was raw and it didn't have any big top on it. And then I went over with the dark wax and aging up those signs. Yes, you can see the word is still spelled incorrectly. So let's fix that. I had to take the wax off and the big top off. So I sanded it. I went over with the white swan, which was the white color that we used. I went over it a couple times, covering up that wording, those two letters on there. And then I took a baby wipe and tried to feather in my paint. Then I took the crackle stamp with the blue ink and went around it, and there's dark wax on here, so that's why it's not matching. And then I lined up the CES and put that on there, and I picked it up with the thin mount. This thin mount is smaller. I do cut them. I used the top edge to make sure that I get it lined up correctly, and then I lined up my letters using the China blue ink. We're going to ink that back on there, and then we're going to try to match this back in. We have to sand it a little bit and sand those edges, making them feather in, and then we're going to use some big top. We're going back over all these same procedures we did before, and then we're going to do some dark wax. You can tell a little bit if you know that I messed up, but actually I think it was a pretty good fix.
There must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscience. Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason. And a little bit of faith has got to come my way.
If you caught last week's YouTube video, I had said that I was going to be a retailer for milk paint. Well, I got my milk paint in on Friday and I couldn't wait to use it. So we are using window paint here. You take equal parts of milk paint and water and let it sit for about 10 minutes. And then you brush it on. I had these spindles. These are legs from some piece of furniture that obviously didn't make it. And that was the first coat. I was hoping that I would get some crackle. I did not, but it's okay. I still like them in the end. And so I just went over the second coat. Now with the Sweet Pickins Dark Wax, it says shake well, so make sure you shake this up. The dark wax, I am totally in love with that dark wax. I had a girlfriend tell me that I would absolutely love it, and she is right. It is amazing on milk paint. So I add that dark oil wax into the crevices all over the milk paint, and then I rub it back. You can leave it on there for as long as you want. It just gets a little bit darker, and it'll come off, so don't worry. And then it'll give it that aged look. So you can see here one is painted or dark waxed and one is not. That one that is not, we're going to use some clear wax. I am going to leave one of them not vintagey and leave it more brighter white. So we just used the DIY clear wax over top of the milk paint and it worked out fine. Now we're going to make some flags. I had a piece of burlap here. This is from a feed sack, and I cut it into rectangles. I didn't have any flag fabric, and so I'm making my own. And if you have drop cloth and you have DIY ink or IOD ink, you can make your own flags. Even DIY paint, you could probably paint these stripes too. I never thought of that. So we're going to use all of these different scraps. We're going to cut the blue area for the stars. We could have done it right on the single layer of drop cloth, but I kind of like dimension. I like layers. So we're going to cut these strips, and we're going to cut them all, and then we're going to take the IOD ink and we're going to add some striping to them. So watch here as you can see how I am doing this, and most of it is self-explanatory. So I'll be back in a bit.
There must be another way, there must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be more to the reason why we do it all for love. There must be more for a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. Has got to come my way. Has got to come my way.
I wanna take you out, show you the time of your life. I wanna figure out what it takes to give you everything you desire. I wanna lay beneath the stars with you in the back of my truck. I guess that this is what they call love. Baby, you've been driving me crazy for so long now. I've been waiting on the sidelines, praying for the right time to let you know you're all I ever wanted and more. I wanna level out, order something and stay in. Put a record on, let's hide the phones and make believe the world don't exist. Let's pull up ties and take a trip to someplace new. Don't care where, as long as I have you. Baby, you've been driving me crazy for so long now. My love for you's insane, but I wouldn't change a thing unless you wanted me to. I'd do anything for you. Waking up next to you is all I ever wanna do. Baby, we can last forever. Baby, you've been driving me crazy crazy for so long now. And my love for you's insane, but I wouldn't change a thing unless you wanted me to. I'd do anything, baby. You've been driving me crazy for so long now. Well, my love for you's insane, but I wouldn't change a thing unless you wanted me to.
I don't sew. All of my sisters sew. I do not. I think I even gave my sewing machine away. So I'm going to use hot glue. I would have loved to have had these sewn, and I may just take them over to my sister and have her sew them up, because I do like the look of the sewing and some threads on them. So that might happen yet. But for now, they are going to be hot glued on here, and it works perfectly. It does adhere them to the drop cloth and gives that the raggedy dimensional look. So we're going to age them a little bit. We're using the DIY weathered wood that does come in that mixology box as well. And I'm going to take and mix it with water, and then I'm splattering it over top of the flag, which it's giving it that like dripped on look, which is, I don't know, I'm a grungy person, and so I like all that little bit of grunge. So then I'm also adding it in between the stripes and around the edges. So you're making like a dye, and you're dyeing the fabric.
Never knew that it could feel this way when you lie next to someone. You don't even need to play pretend, 'cause you find the way you are.
I tried several different ways to attach these flags to my spindle, but the best one that I could come up with is just to hot glue that edge right onto that spindle. We tried to staple it. I didn't like that look. It all worked out in the end. I really do think that they're good.
Forever when you're lying in my arms. My heart is open. It just took some time. Now I just hope that you stay for a little while. You fix what's broken when you make that smile. So just stay for a little while. So just stay for a little.
For the next project, I have this mirror. It was a home interior mirror. I thrifted it, and we're just going to add some of this leftover window pane milk paint to the mirror. And I am painting this all in the window pane and just giving it a nice white finish. And it's actually going on very thin, and I give it a second coat. Since there's so much water in here, I shouldn't have used the paper. So I took the paper off because it was just wrinkling up and bubbling up, and we're going to scrape it off in the end. And I went with a second coat of the window pane, which was the exact coverage that I needed, and I sanded it. I did get a little bit of cracking, and when I sanded it, it just crackled a little bit more, which it just gives it the frame some nice age to it. We're going to use that oil wax again onto this white paint, and I really love this oil wax, guys. I cannot tell you enough how much I like it. After it had all been on there and sat for a little bit, I went back and I wiped it off, and look at the details in this mirror.
I didn't think that I would find that someone who's as honest as you are. The way you make me feel at night when I am vulnerable and it's cold outside.
For the next project, we have this baseball. We're going to go back to this mixology kit and all of these fun colors in here. I use these colors all the time. This is such a great deal. If you want to try out the DIY paint, this is a really, really great box for you to get. You have so many colors and can make so many other colors within those. Here we are with our red, white, and blue again. We're going to go on this softball. I grew up in a tavern and we had a baseball field. And softballs remind me of when I was a kid. I had to take my weekends and sit behind the fence and get all the home run balls and bring them back up so that they could continue using them. So baseballs, I've seen a lot of them in my childhood. And so we're going to make this one that I did find at a thrift store. I couldn't help it. It was poor, lonely old softball sitting there at the thrift store. And I've had it for a few years. And I finally decided, okay, let's make this over into our patriotic video. So we're going to paint one side in white and the other side in blue iris, letting those dry. And then we're just going to paint some stripes on the white. And you can see my little pinky is whenever I'm painting the stripes, it's touching the ball. So that is steadying my hand to make sure that it's not shaking, it's not moving around. And no matter where it is, I always have my pinky, which is anchoring my painting hand. We're going to continue to paint those stripes onto this white. They don't have to be perfect, guys. I'm telling you, this is homemade, and we're going to grunge it up a little bit so you don't have to be perfect. And just get some stripes on there, and then let that dry. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take that same stencil with the stars, and we're going to use the DIY's White Swan, the JRV stencil brush, and stencil the star. It is a round surface, so you do kind of have to make it go back and forth to make sure that you get a good image of your star, but it's doable. And then I don't know. I think this is so sweet, this baseball, softball, and I just absolutely love it. So we're going to use the clear wax right over top of the paint. And again, I am worried about the red mixing in, so I do that first, and then I just go back in with the blue instead of smearing it from one color to another. And we didn't sand this one, so there's not any fresh pigments. Now we're going to use the dark dust and go into that stitching. And that is where this authentic vintage look is coming from, is this dark dust. We're just going to push it into that stitching. This is why we didn't need to be perfect, because we're making it grungy. And then we're going to take a dry cloth and just kind of move some of that dark dust around, and then kind of go back in and grunge up that white a little bit. Isn't this a fun little project?
I could stay forever when I'm lying in your arms. Oh, my heart is open. It just took some time. Now I just hope that you stay for a little while. You'll fix what's broken when you make them smile. So just stay for a little while. So long when you go and I can't get.
For our next project, I had this thrifted frame, and it was painted white. I painted it white off camera, and I used the Le Courrier stamp. This stamp is Workhorse, and I absolutely love it. We're going to make the background of this project using the Le Courrier stamp and the cut down thin mount. The thin mount, again, is going to help us keep things lined up and keep straight. So using the same process as I did earlier, you can watch this as I stamp the entire backside of the board to make it look like a newsprint.
Stay for a little while.
Stay for a little while.
Hey,
My heart is open. It just took some time. Now I just hope that you stay for a little while.
you fix what's broken when you make that smile. So just stay for a little while.
My heart is open. It just took some time. Now I just hope that you stay for a little while. You fix what's broken when you make that smile. Stay for a little while.
Now here's where the fun stuff begins. I'm going to take that weathered wood and I'm going to water it down. And we're going to spray the backside of this newsprint. And it's permanent ink, so it will not smear. And then we're just going to take the weathered wood and sloppily put it around the edges. And we're squirting it with water, giving it, like, this newspaper has been old. It's been sitting around. It got water stained. And it's, oh, look at it. Isn't that just gorgeous? And then we're going to splatter it. It's still wet, so some of those splatters are just stretching and reaching out. It's so good. I love it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take the IOD butterfly stamp. And this butterfly stamp, I had done this years ago on my YouTube channel. And so I'm just trying to figure out, do I want it up higher or in the middle? And I want it right directly in the center, which is not normally like me. So I take my thin mount and I line it up on the side and the top. And you'll find out why in a little bit. So I ink that up with the IOD black ink. And I use that thin mount and place it on the top and along the side, making sure that I have both edges nice and tight. And then I stamp the butterfly onto that newsprint. Now this looks pretty good all by itself, but we're not done. We are going to make this patriotic using the colors from the mixology. We're going to use the carnival red, the blue iris, and we're going to water them down. We're going to make what's like a watercolor, and we're going to watercolor this butterfly. The first we're going to start with is the blue. It's nice and watered down, and I actually just sprayed the backing of this project as well, so the paint just kind of flows on there a little bit easier instead of just sticking. So it's like we're watercoloring this butterfly. So the first one was the blue iris. The next we're going to start adding in the stripes to this butterfly. So again, they don't have to be perfect. I'm telling you guys, it's that we're not here for perfection. So just going in and adding the stripes, making sure when the butterfly stops, so do you. So add those in there just like that. It's looking pretty good now, isn't it? But I did not like the newsprint coming through on the white. So we're going to, well, first we give it a little bit of splatter, a blue splatter. I don't like red splatter. Red splatter and I don't get along. So after it was dry, we went back in with the white swan from the mixology set of paints, and we added the white stripe in there. I did not like how the newsprint was coming through the butterfly. It might have been okay, but trust me, in the end, I think I made the right decision. And now you're looking like the butterfly does not look very nice. Don't worry. It we're going to fix it. So I'm just adding those white stripes across the entire butterfly. And then I add a little bit of splatter to the blue so that it looks like stars.
Love like wildfire. I was your entire world until I stood alone.
Now, after that has all totally dried, we're going to take the butterfly, re-ink it. This is why we anchored it to the top and to the side, because we can just put it right back in the exact same spot. And voila, you now have a patriotic butterfly. And so what we're doing is, I know I do this all the time in my videos, guys. I might be obsessed with it, but I think that you all like to watch this process. So I am going to shadow the sides, the edges of this butterfly, and make him look like he pops off the page.
Straight out of that door. Promises got lost in the dust. Your boots by the door. You're not coming home. Love like wildfire. I was your entire world until I wasn't anymore. Oh, heartache, you left me behind. That's not a man, only a coward gone. Now you're chasing the wind, no longer my man. You're just a cowboy. You're just a cowboy. This place is a ghost town, dressed in moonlight. I whisper your name, can't get any sleep. Smoking cigarette after cigarette, I watch 'em burn until I forget we're through. Baby, tell me what to do. Promises got lost in the dust. Your boots by the door. You're not coming home. No, stuck in a ghost town, dressed in moonlight, where I still keep the porch light on. Oh, heartache, you left me behind. That's not a man.
For our last project, I have these two candlesticks. And they're kind of, I forget what that style is, contemporary. So I needed to paint them. I needed to give them a different paint color. And so I added the white swan and did 2 coats of the white swan to cover up that green and that red. And then I went in with Carnival Red and I made some striping onto the candlestick using the Carnival Red. And then I went in with the blue iris and made the blue as well. So take a watch and see what you think of these candlesticks.
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for them old days of yore. Well, let me run through the breeze like the leaves on the trees. Let me fly like the leaves when they fall. Well, let my mind go serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road.
Take me home to rest where the mockingbirds nest and to cry through the green in the spring. Let's go back a ways to the old bygone days and the simple time we lived back when. Well, let the pull of the plow bring the sweat from my brow, and the glow of the fire pull me home. Let me wind down my days in the sweet dusty haze. Take me back down the old dirt road. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me back down the old dirt road. Soul searching, fall apart. Tunnel vision, hiding in the dark. Well, I ain't gonna holler before I really bleed. Salvation, a quick fix remedy. You said I never could change. I thought I never could change. They said I never could change. Damn right, never would. Leave the light on. Leave the light on. Just leave the light on. Yeah, leave the light on. If I'll ever change, been dreaming of Nashville, Tennessee, while the cold here in Sweden got the best of me. Well, haven't I got better shit to think about than that shit? Like deadlines, rent's due, bills pile up, family day in, day out, the clock's mocking me, getting old, oh, got the kids, deserve so much more than this, gotta get rich. You said I never could.
Did you have a favorite? I don't know that I did. I just know that this brought back a lot of sweet memories of growing up in the tavern, getting the softballs behind the fence. My dad's name was Earl, and it was called Earl's Bar. I was on his softball league, and we were called Earl's Girls. Yep. What I wouldn't give to have one of those t-shirts again. Earl's Girls with my number on the back. This brought up lots of sweet memories. I hope that you have some as well, and that you can share your stories with me in the comments below. I love to hear them. I love to hear from each and every one of you. And then I also like to know, what's your favorite? Which was your favorite project? I'm selling milk paint now. You can get both DIY and milk paint right here. And the sweet thing about milk paint, it's not going to go bad until you mix it. So it's there for you. I have some milk paint that I've had probably 8 years. Let me find it. I found it, knew right where it was. It's Miss Mustard Seed milk paint. And I've had this, it's probably over 8 years, but I bought it the same time I bought DIY. I haven't liked it as much until I found Sweet Pickins milk paint. I just love the way Sweet Pickins goes on. I love everything about it. But this just goes to show you that your milk paint, this one's even open. It's got the container in it, the scooper in it. And they're just fine. They're not gonna go bad. So head on over to the website at thepaintedphotographer.com. Grab yourself some milk paint, some IOD products, some DIY paint, all the good things. Some Connie's rice paper. And the back porch collection is still out there. I got a new one coming for you for June. It's gonna be exciting. Thank you all for watching. Again, let me know what your favorite was. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, happy painting.
Crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country, yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little bit country, yeah, she's my country girl. She can let her hair down, but got her feet on the ground. I can't get enough of her. She can drive me so wild, just with that sweet smile, and there's nobody else for me. My heart starts racing every time I'm looking at her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing to me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy.